that all of you are here tonight. The goal is really to reach out to the people who are not here, whose lives are influenced by what they see as difficulties in the environment for their adults, the parents of GLBT kids, and for the kids themselves. I wanted to be a representative because I wanted people to have a to-go person, a person that they can reach out to if they don't know where to begin in this process. I was lucky enough to go to the expo that Legally does every year, and I met with a couple of the people, and I learned and began my understanding of exactly the journey for myself, my family, for my kids, and I would like people to have me as an easy access person. So I'm sort of putting it out there. I'm certainly reached through the center here. I'm going to have open door policy. People can contact me. I want you to let people know that I've been there. I understand some of it. I'm learning more from the center, and I'm going to continue to have the baton passed to me so that I can pass it to the next generation and hopefully work towards making everybody recognize for who they are, not what their orientation or their religion or their race or any other factor is, but we are united, we are one, and the PTA should be to unite us all, not to divide us. And if they need a little bit of assistance in understanding the specific needs, we'll take that on. We'll research and we'll do the work, and then we'll help them so that we can be one organization, not divided, but united.
Hi everybody and welcome. When I first came to the center in Bayshore, there wasn't a parent support group. I looked near and far for just other people to talk to. I'm hoping that this will be a beacon. This will be a place that parents, educators, students can reach out and say, I don't even know if this is an issue that can be addressed. What do you think? And we can talk and we can figure it out together. Because that's what it's about. It's about working together. It's been my privilege when my kids were younger to be very involved in the PTA. And the PTA says, every child, one voice. Our children's voices aren't necessarily being heard. So we want to include all the voices. We want to hear your voices, they're beautiful. And we just want to, like Lori said, to be open access points. I think that's wonderful. Tomorrow in Bayshore we have our parent support group. We meet the first Thursday of every month. Let parents know it's even there, or aunts, uncles, or whatever. So we're all here to figure this out together. It's new ground for all of us, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And thank you all again for coming.
Thank you. Thank you to Lori and Christine. And I think, just to chime in on something that they said, is that we have heard over the years, and more particularly recently, that parents felt a lot isolated in all the different communities across Long Island. So when we may hear an argument that says, why can't we work within the existing structures that exist? I think we know why we have tried to work within the existing structures. However, most of those existing structures don't want to address the issues of LGBT youth at the PTA level. And so we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do that as Lori and Christine said, by working together. So, did I go to the next slide? So we're going through this a little bit quick here, but I just want to go over a little bit about some of the committees that have been set up. Actually, before I do that, when I was doing my research on PTAs and the different committees that existed, I came across some wonderful ones that I hope we eventually get to. I am a lover of baked goods, and I would love to have a cake committee and a cupcake committee and all that fun stuff. But we're going to be getting to some other work that needs to be done right now. So, we go to the next one. Oh, okay, there you just missed your picture. Okay, so here's our chairs. I already mentioned that, so thank you very much for stepping to the plate. And and so the committees that we have set up, and then again we're going to put this open to a dialogue, are the initial committees are membership and support, outreach and education, and a PowerPoint committee too. Okay. All right. The Outreach and Education Committee will plan, conduct, and promote membership. Oh wait, James. All right, what this committee is going to do this committee actually is going to work on advocating for and perhaps presenting to different faculty and parent groups, providing the education and cultural competency training to the different faculty and parent groups across the island. So the hope is that eventually we're able to get to every single PTA, and that's going to take time. We know we live on a long island, so it's going to take a long time to go from Garden City all the way out to Amagansett and everywhere in between. But the goal of the Outreach and Education Committee is to reach out to all the different school district PTAs, to reach out to all the different faculty groups, and to be able to provide the sensitivity and cultural competency training. I'm afraid to go to the next slide.
Get there. Where's the other side of the mouse?
Other side of the mouse? There is no other side. How about this? Oh, well, this one works. Okay, so the curriculum committee to plan and create curricula about GLBT history, including the contributions made by GLBT leaders such as Harvey Milk. I said I was going to talk more about this, but I talked a lot about it earlier. And I think the main crux of this point is to make sure that in our history classes, in our social studies classes, and in other appropriate settings, that there is GLBT curricula that's introduced. And so the curriculum committee will be working on this, as well as working with the Outreach and Education Committee to try and get some schools to pilot this curricula as we develop it over the next year. I did have a conversation with Stuart Milk today, who is Harvey Milk's nephew, who graduated from Southside High School in Rockville Center and is part of the Harvey Milk Foundation. And they are real excited about what we're doing here in Harvey's hometown, in his hometown, and they're going to be behind us supporting the efforts. So these are the committees. We do have, for a future committee, the work that we're doing here on Long Island, certainly we would like to see extended throughout the state. And as the PTA develops, we will be creating a legislation and policy committee to work with the New York State Education Department so that this does get implemented throughout the entire state when we're talking about curriculum changes. So this goes beyond the Dignity for All Student Act that we already know about. It also could be something that is part of the implementation of the Dignity for All Students Act. And so that is the structure and the committees of the PTA. And right now, what we'd like to do is to open it up to a dialogue to hear from you in terms of what is really happening out there. What are some of the obstacles that you're facing in your roles, either as a parent, a faculty member, a teacher, or a student? Great question. In terms of cyberbullying and what's being done about it, and what our stance is on that as well. Cyberbullying is there's been a lot written on it in the past year or so, and it's a relatively new phenomenon that I think people are trying to identify what is cyberbullying, especially when we're talking about Facebook, MySpace, and those other social media sites. And what we can speak to is what we know in terms of what some LGBT youth have told us, is that people are using the internet as a way to bully and threaten folks, people that may not be out. They're being threatened that they're going to out them on Facebook, so I think cyberbullying needs to be a part of our work when we're taking a look at it, and I think that's going to take a lot more discussion to kind of really help to define that and assess what the problems are out there.
A lot of the most current research is really addressing the importance of empowering the child who's been bullied. And so, for example, where do those children go? Can they go to their parents? Can they go to their teachers? Is there somebody at school? How to educate the teachers and the administrators and the parents, how to respond to the child who needs the support. You can't always get the bullies. It's very hard, but you can do a lot of things to help the child who's suffering with being bullied.
So there's a lot of a child, the children, well, hi, I'm a child, and a student who attends, West Babylon High School. And this year has been different for me. I've heard more anti-gay slurs, and it's been difficult, it's been different, unique. So there's me, the student, and from what I've heard of my fellow classmates, it's student versus teachers. Teachers don't have lives as much as the teachers think that students don't have lives. But I've realized that the teachers, it's actually the opposite. They of all people understand that we have so much going on. I mean, it really hurts when you hear the word faggot being thrown around and you know that the teacher hears, you see them shake their head or they turn around the other way. It hurts. But it's not until you really think about it do you realize that they're a good person and that they want to help you. They want to help you, they just don't know how. As a student, as a classmate, what I want and what I need in the school is for teachers to be given that opportunity to do the right thing because they want to help. I would love, as a student, if not an every other week, workshop for the teachers, just a workshop for the teachers of how to handle a situation when they hear friends amongst friends saying, that's so gay, and other anti-slurs. How do they react when they hear, I don't mean it like that? How do they react when they hear, no homo, or again, just other slurs? I want the teachers to be able to do what they really do want to do. They want to teach and make kids feel safe. They want to teach in a safe environment. Because that's what school's supposed to be, a safe environment where you can learn. I mean, every quality teacher, that's what they want.
Okay, so,
that's it.
thank you, Kat. I don't know, I mean, we have several teachers out here too, who may or may not want.
Was tolerance. I don't want you to tolerate anybody. You accept people.
Right.
Who are we to tolerate anybody? Acceptance. And I'll tell you, when my kids walked in, it was the first time I ever heard the expression, that's so gay. My daughter was in 5th grade. I said, we don't talk like that. I said, first of all, you're putting down gay people. I said, there's nothing wrong with being gay. I said, and you don't know whose mother, father, sister, brother is gay. You know, again, it's about acceptance, not tolerance. Who are we to tolerate anybody? We have to accept and care for one another. So thank you so much for coming and doing what you're doing.
So what we're going to do is we understand that PTA meetings don't take too long. The gay meetings do. We're going to follow the PTA rules as we become chartered, as we start the process of becoming chartered as a PTA through the New York State PTA. And you may hear some things out there. There was an article put out today that the New York State PTA president, who, by the way, resides on Long Island, said that they never approved this group here tonight. And the fact is, we did speak with the New York State PTA on October 24th. Whoever we spoke with in Albany, the person that we spoke with in Albany thought it was a fantastic idea. They just didn't know who was going to handle it. They asked us to send an email. We did, and we never heard back from them, even with follow-up. So, but we've done our research. There is a community group PTA that does exist as part of the New York State PTA. History is on our side. I did speak with the New York State president today, and she is coming here on Monday. And we're going to be sitting down meeting to chart the path for the Long Island Gay PTA to become chartered as a PTA and be part of the New York State Parent Teachers Association and the National Parent Teachers Association. And what that will do for all of us who are here, who are members, and the many more who wanted to join us tonight and the many more who will join us, is that we're going to be going to these New York State PTA meetings conferences and have a seat at the table and make sure all the issues and all the goals that we talked about, spread beyond Long Island and throughout the state. So with that, James has some sign-up forms. We have some coffee, and
The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Oh no, the world won't get no better. We gotta change again, just you and me.